Smokes are also good if you're not going to really sit outside on your drones, then I'd run the smokes. But if you're going to be sitting outside actually using your util, I'd run claymores. For Monty, you obviously have to run the shield. And then for the pistol, the P9, because it actually has magazine size, because the revolver only has 6 shots in it. Definitely not going to want to use the revolver on Monty. Gadget, it's kind of depending on the situation. Like, sometimes you might want to run hard breaches. Sometimes your team might need you on EMPs, but I just default to running the smokes, because if you're on Monty, you're taking the bomb every time pretty much, and smokes are just good for making the plant play. But you got to be able to switch. That's how it is with a lot of the secondary gadgets. So for Glass, he only has one primary, and you're definitely not going to be using either of these. You're going to have to run the Barry 9, because that would be your only automatic gun. And if you're not using smokes on Glass, you're a bot. So definitely not going to want to touch either of these besides the smokes. For Fuse, it kind of depends on what your team's doing. If you're getting on him to like join the shield rush, your team's all going shields, and obviously put on the shield, but by default I put the AK on. The LMG's not bad per se, but the AK-12 is just all around better. I guess it is up to personal preference at the end of the day. If you like LMGs, then run the LMG. And then for the secondary gadget, I would either run the hard breach or the soft breach, either one, because if you're going Fuse, you're going to be playing vert. If you want to get the hatch, run the hard breach. If you want to just make vert and you don't have a ram or a buck going with you, I'd run soft. Blitz, you don't have any options. You have to run the shield and you have to run the P12. For the device, I would probably go smoke. Same like kind of idea of Monty. You're gonna have the defuse if you're on the shield. You want to make the play. But if you're not gonna have the defuse, if you're doing like a shield rush, maybe I'd go the breach charges. I don't know. It's personal preference on which one. It kind of depends on the scenario. For IQ, both of her guns are pretty valid. The LMG is what I personally use because I really just like the LMG. The Commando is also a great gun. It does more damage. Obviously has less fire rate and magazine size. The AUG is just never a good pick. The AUG's the worst of these three. And then the P12 as your secondary. I run frags, but breach charges are also good. For Buck, I always recommend using the C8. His DMR is just not good. And the C8 does not have that much recoil. Then you got to use his only pistol and then run flashes on Buck because you're going to be an entry frag. Not going to want to run claymores. For Blackbeard, if you got like a crazy trigger finger or a Cronus, I would use this DMR. But if not, I'd stick to the AR.